Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over our daily technical analysis update for uranium. Uranium, one of my favorites. So we're going to dive in here, look at the charts. I'm going to do some long-term charting too, give you guys maybe a little bit different perspective on some of this stuff. Get you guys locked in and loaded and have the right mindset. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. Let's dive here and take a look at the charts and see what we've got. So here is physical uranium. We're flailing all over the place here. We're all over, but at least we've got higher lows. We're coming up into resistance just like the charts that we're looking at for the companies. So let's look at the overall ETF. Again, we're up on that resistance line. You can see that we're pinching up into that resistance line here. We still have a little more room, but we're trying to break it. We're trying to break it. This is what it looks like on the daily chart. We've got some confusion on the breakout. We came up, came back into the pattern, broke out again. I mean, we're flirting with this resistance line up here. The resistance is strong. It's fighting back and forth. I even put in a different chart to see what this thing looks like. This is an ascending wedge looking at it this way. Are we going to break up or are we going to get a pullback out of it? And I don't know. I'm indifferent to the move. I can't tell you what we're going to do. It's still trying to figure out where this thing's going to go. So I'm watching it. We've got Camco here. This is a clear break of a big long-term downtrend line. When I look for patterns, we want to see these big patterns breaking. The bigger the pattern, the bigger the move. And these big ones break into the upside. They'll break. They may come back a little bit like this one did and just take off. Your buying opportunity is on the break. It breaks out, you buy it all in this area, you cost average in, you get greedy when everyone is like, oh, it's not going to go anywhere. It broke out of the pattern, you're wrong. And then months later, you're launching higher. It's an uncontrollable move to the upside after that break. It did the same thing over here. You broke the downtrend line in 2000, 2001, and it went up, it pulled back. This is what you have to endure for this big old move that comes ahead of you. So we're in the move, guys. It's good. It's GTG, good to go. Now here's Next Gen Energy. Looking at this guy, we've got a downtrend line that broke through here and just absolutely ripping it. What would I do here? Absolutely nothing. Wouldn't do anything. Now here's Next Gen Energy. Looking at it from this perspective, we got a line coming through here. It's still in the pattern. Still in the pattern, hasn't decided which way it wants to go. We're just waiting for a break. Fission uranium. Again, let me draw this line in here. There's our, let me put a new one there. So here's fission. I just want to show you what I'm seeing. Kind of draw it through this guy here. Now, what's important here? How do I know this thing's a good one? There's a low. We've got a higher low. This was the sell-off, I think, in 2020 probably. But here, another same low. A higher low. You load up, guys. You load up in here. If you're going to see you're coming to a line that you're going to break, you have higher lows. You can go in here and buy. Now, this would have been a difficult one because you had the same type of scenario here, but it didn't break the pattern. Came all the way back down. So when you get this break, that's where you're loading up. You break out, you pull back, you keep loading into it, and then you just hold on. Hold on for the ride higher. So fission looks good. I'm not doing anything with my shares. Oops. We've got laramide. What do you think I did here? I loaded up right in this section here. What would I do now? I'm not really doing much of anything right now. I'm just holding on. I'm looking to the left-hand side. I think we have more upside. Would I buy in this area in here? Yeah, I would. I would. We're switching back to the other charting method. Here's Forces Metals. Here's our high. We're still trying to break through this 90-cent range. We're stuck in that 90-cent range. The lows are coming up into that 90-cent range. I think we're going to break at some point soon. probably to the upside as we've got nice buying pressure and not as strong of selling pressure. We have to look at the buying and selling pressure. The selling pressure is a little bit, it's getting a little strong here. I'm still going to give the buyers the chance to show us if they're still here. If we start seeing big, fat, thick down days, look out below. Here's Baseload. That's that cup and handle pattern. Came back down a little bit. Looks okay. Standard Uranium, I would have been a buyer today. I didn't have any money, but I would have bought it somewhere in this wick as it went back up. So we came down, came back, and I bet you we're probably going to put in a little bottom here. It's my guess. Pure Point's somewhat doing the same thing. Maybe not as good as clean of a chart as Standard Uranium. ISO Energy coming on up, big buying pressure, coming on back, consolidated for a little bit, broke out to the upside. I think we're going to continue the move probably to the upside, maybe have like a little cup and handle pattern here. UEX Corp, down day today, kind of out of it, out of the norm. We'll see if this thing heads lower and if this trend line is broken or if the buyers say, no, we got to get back in the pattern. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Bannerman's looking okay. We're still in this kind of slight uptrend, bullish engulfing, bullish piercing. Let's just ride it on higher. No real discernible pattern there. Deep yellow still scribing out its pattern here. Actually, let me take a look here, guys. This might be a buy. Let's see what we got here for. No, we're still in the pattern. Still in the pattern. We see, if you guys see a break to the upside and it closes strong, I'd probably buy it. Looks good. Probably going to see a big move out of deep yellow if it breaks to the upside. We've got Global Atomic. Looks like it's still inside this ascending wedge type pattern. Come on, let's break to the upside, guys. Goviak's another, it's still in this pattern as well. If you draw the lines all through here, it's still in the pattern. So we still have some decision making on a lot of these companies, which way they're going to break. This guy, with all the selling pressure, we could see it kind of bounce sideways for a little bit longer. Needs to consolidate after this wound of a sell-off, I should say. We've got Fission 3.0, not Fission 1.0, but 3.0. Coming on up, little pullback, still looks good to meander higher. UEC, that one left the dock, guys. That thing's gone. It left at $4 and said, "See ya, wouldn't want to be ya." So it looks okay, looks good. URG, it's still clinging to some sellers over here. Little wick at the top and some selling pressure up at 210. UUUU, that one took off as well. Said, "See ya, wouldn't want to be ya," and it's left the station. Would I buy it up there? Probably not. If it were me. UROI still coiling up here. Which way is this thing coiling for? Upside or downside? Which way? Put it in the comments section which way you think UROI is going to go. It's not me, Roy, it's UROI. International Consolidated Uranium. We're consolidating for sure. It's in the name of it. So, yeah, we're consolidating up here. I don't know which way this thing's going to break. I mean, we've got down days and black candlesticks. Usually that means lower. But the whole other sector looks really good. So, I don't know on this one. That's a tough one. Now, Kazatomprom, we've got a nice big bullish engulfing pattern, which usually means we're going to head to the upside. That one looks good. So does Laramide. Bullish engulfing, higher pattern. I think we're at the bottom of this, and we're going to move up of this little channel here. And Encore Energy has a bullish engulfing. This one looks like it wants to roll higher. This one actually looks pretty good. We've got some big buying pressure, small selling pressure. I think this will resolve upward. This one looks pretty good. Centrist Energy, my gosh, 15% up today. I mean, this thing from $25 to $80. Like, all these up days in here are what asset managers think that they want for yearly returns. But 15%, that's a great return today. It does look a little bit, it might be getting a little bit tired. I mean, you guys are really away from the 200-day on LEU. but I'd still hold on. Boss Energy, we're coming up. The lows are getting higher. We're right in a corner here where the lows are coming right into that resistance line. We'll see which way it goes. I say, hopefully it breaks up. Peninsula Energy is the same thing as Boss Energy. The lows are coming right into this resistance line at 22 cents, 21, 22 cents. Western Uranium looks a little bit toppy. Looks like we could pull back a little bit, but the buyers are hanging on by, by a very thin thread. They're right there at the line. Paladin, lows are coming up right into resistance, just like all the other ones. And then we got Anfield Energy moving on sideways. Doesn't look too bad here. We got nice support underneath it, all at 12 cents. And then Azincourt bouncing sideways, broke the pattern to the upside. This is probably going to resolve upward. So we've got overall the sector. Some of them have broken to the upside. UEC, UU. The American crew looks pretty good. We've got some bullish engulfings on some of these that also look good. Encore Energy, Laramide. Those are looking fantastic. Gazettum-Prom. Azincourt's looking pretty good. We have some that are playing with the lower end of their pattern, breaking kind of to the downside. Which way is this thing going to go? If I had a bunch of bullish engulfings across the entire sector, I'd say we're going higher. We don't have that. We only have it across a couple. We had a couple that broke out to the upside. I'm favoring the upside, but cautiously wondering about, is this thing going to hold together, or are we going to blow to the downside? I think a lot has to do with oil too. Remember, these are all energy sectors. If oil goes up, maybe it'll drag this up with it, because a lot of these companies are an energy company type things. So I can't tell you, I don't see a clear path here. I don't see if it's going to be clearly up or down. And looking at oil and natural gas looked like it was going on up. Oil looks like it's indecisive at the moment. So I don't have a clear picture where this thing's going yet. I'm still remaining open on a move higher or lower. If I were to favor one, I'm going to favor the upside, because UU, UEC, and some of these other ones have broken to the upside. Some of the market leaders, I'll say, like Gazettum-Prom, Encore Energy, they've got bullish engulfings. I'm going to favor the upside at the moment, but it's only a slight favor. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.